Hey guys, what's up my awesome YouTube family? So today in this video I'm going to be doing a kind of New Year's tag video. Reason why I say it that way is because it's not one I found on YouTube. I'll put the link below to the website where I found these questions down below in case you want to do this kind of video yourself, which would be great. I found these questions on the website, not on YouTube, and I will warn you right now, this will be a longer video, okay? Because I decided not to take the time to think about my answers to the questions beforehand. I'm just been thinking about them as I answer them. So this is going to be a bit of a longer video. I'm not going to apologize for that because this is how I am. So if you don't have a whole lot of time or you're not into longer videos, exit out. No hard feelings. Have a great day. But these are questions for New Year's, and basically as 1 year comes to an end and the new year is about to begin, it's kind of questions are kind of reflection questions and reflect back on the previous year. And so I decided to answer these on camera for you guys, but I have not taken the time to think about my answers ahead of time, so I'm going to be doing that as I read them. So there's 10 questions, and I'll link the website down below. So the idea is, it says top 10 New Year's questions to ask yourself so you can make next year even better. And that kind of intrigued me. I was like, okay. So question number 1, what did you learn about yourself from this past year? And I think what I learned is what's important to me. What really matters and what doesn't. What's important to me and what isn't. What I need to focus on and what I need to just let go of and let God take control of. And so I think that's one thing I've learned this past year is I've learned more about my priorities and the people and things that matter most to me. Question number 2, which relationships meant the most to you this past year and why? Definitely the relationship between the friendship that myself and Lois, my dad's romantic partner, have. She's become almost like a second mom to me, and she's been praying for me every day and offering me support and advice. We have almost like an accountability thing going on, and because we both have fibromyalgia along with other medical conditions, we kind of understand each other's pain and limitations. We understand when we're having a bad day. We understand when we're having difficulty with things that normally wouldn't have problems with. So it's been great to kind of go to her, text her and say, hey, I'm having a rough day, I'm hurrying all over, and I don't want to move, I don't want to get out of bed, but I have things I have to get done. And she texts me back and says, I know what you're feeling, I've been there, So definitely the relationship between myself and Lois, my dad's romantic partner. And I call her that because they're not married. They're not husband and wife, so I can't call her his wife, but basically they're, it's as if they were married. But definitely the relationship between me and myself and Lois. And I can mention so many relationships here that have meant so much to me over the past year. So many people that have impacted my life for the better and made my life better by being in it. But because there's quite a few questions here, I'm going to try and limit this a little bit. But the other relationship I'll mention, among all the ones that have been such a blessing to me, is the friendship that I have with my best friend, Jeremy. He's a YouTuber. I'll link his channel down below in case you haven't heard of it before. In case you want to check it out, tell him I sent you. His link will be down below. But he's one of those people that is supportive and kind and loving, but yet not afraid to be honest and not afraid to be real. And if you've done something wrong, if you need to have your butt kicked, he's gonna kick your butt. So I need people like that in my life that aren't afraid to say, you need to change this, or you need to work on this, or And And so I feel like we have a really special friendship there that I treasure so much. And so definitely the relationship with myself and Lois, and the relationship between myself and my best friend, Jeremy. Question number 3. What was one of the biggest challenges you faced this past year, and how did you handle it? I have to think about that one for a minute. Hang on, let me get a drink pretty quick. What was one of the biggest challenges you faced this past year, and how did you handle it? I'm not really sure about that one, honestly. I guess I don't see things often as challenges, just part of life. Life is full of ups and downs, good things and bad things. And so I honestly don't know how to answer that question. One of the things I had to do for the first time this year that I haven't had to do before is I had to go through a recertification process to continue to live where I'm living. And so we had to have certain documents. We had to have certain, copies of certain documents. We had to have information documentation. We had to have, forms that we had to fill out. They had to be filled out in a very specific way. And that was kind of a daunting thing for me to experience. And I was so worried I was going to mess it up or forget something or not do something right. And so that was kind of a big deal for me because I'd never done that before. And so that's not really a challenge by some people's standards, but it's the one that comes to my mind that kind of fits the question. So hopefully that's an okay answer. There are other challenges I face, but they're more personal, and I'm not going to go into those. Question number 4. What was one of your proudest moments from this past year, and why? One of my proudest moments from this past year. I think, and this may not be a very good answer to this question, but I'm just being honest. I think that because one of the biggest changes in my life over the past 12 months has been my finally having enough energy to exercise, to get active, to get out and walk every day, get on my exercise bike every day, and move around and do more things. And I feel like, and again, it may not be a good answer for some of you, but when I finally talked to my doctor about my fibromyalgia, and I told her I wanted to be able to see a specialist about that and maybe get some medication or something to help me with my lower energy level. The biggest thing I have with fibromyalgia often isn't pain. It's low energy. It's feeling very weak, tired, run down, lethargic, sleepy, just really awful. And so I think when I went to talk to my doctor and I said I want to be referred to a specialist, a fibromyalgia doctor, and she checked every doctor every fibromyalgia specialist she could find that I could possibly go to and go see. But each of them expected me to leave my current doctor's care and go see a doctor that they recommended first, and then they would see me. And my doctor I have now, it's hard to find a good doctor. Some of you can testify to that. It's hard to find a really good, caring doctor that you get along well with, that gets you, that understands you. And when you find one like that, you want to hang on to them for dear life. And I knew there was no way I was going to leave my current doctor's care just to see, and that was a big decision for me. It was like, okay, I can leave my current doctor and go see one of these specialist doctors and get the help I need. Or I could risk staying with my current doctor and maybe never get the help I need. Because I wasn't sure if my current doctor would feel comfortable with prescribing me fibromyalgia medication. So that was a big thing for me. Was saying, I'm going to stay with my current doctor and just see what happens. And I kind of put it in God's hands and said, God, you know what I'm up against here. You know what I'm dealing with. I need your help. And she prescribed me some fibromyalgia medication that has helped me. I still have bad days. I still have a lot of days where I'm tired and weak and run down. Fibromyalgia just drains your energy so quickly, and so I still have a lot of bad days. I'm not saying every day is perfect now, but the medication has helped me so much. I think one of the proudest moments of this past year was my being willing to not only ask my doctor about fibromyalgia, pain, and treatments, but being willing to stick with her when people were telling me to go other places. So. Number 5. Again, we're 10 minutes into this, we're only on question number 5. This is going to be a long video, guys. So, what was one of the most meaningful compliments you received this past year? And why was it so meaningful to you? I think there are 2 compliments that I've gotten this past year that really just touched me in such a deep way. A really deep way. One of them is being told that I'm a lot like my mom. My mom was far from perfect. She was far from perfect. She had her issues and problems and things that she dealt with, but she was an amazing woman and full of so much love. And so being told that I look like her or I sound like her or I'm a lot like her is just one of the best compliments I could ever be given in life. And for those of you who don't know, my mom passed away in 2007, January 3rd, 2007, from complications of multiple myeloma cancer. She battled that for almost 2 full years, and she suffered a lot with that. It was horrible watching her declined so much in health and strength because she was always very independent, very stubborn, very strong, did everything herself, didn't want to have help. But being told I'm a lot like my mom in any way is one of the best compliments I could ever be given. The second compliment I was given to me by actually someone who watches my YouTube videos, and she said the world needs more people like you in it. And that just... Sorry. I did not plan on getting emotional, guys. I swear to you. But so often, it's easy to feel like what you do doesn't matter, and that you're not making a difference, and that you're just one small person in the grand scheme of things, and that you're not that important, And it's so easy to feel like what you do doesn't matter. If I disappeared tomorrow, would anybody notice? That kind of thing. And so, to be told the world needs more people like you in it, that just means so much. And why it's meaningful to me is because for someone like me, it's easy to feel like what I do doesn't matter. And I'm not making a difference, and I'm not important, and I'm not, and I'm not trying to sound like I need to be told I'm all this and all that. Yeah, that's not the point of this whole thing. But to be told that the world needs more people like you in it just means I'm doing something right. And we all need to hear that. We all need to hear we're doing something right, and that we are making a difference, and we are impacting people, we are making people happy, that kind of thing. So those are the 2 most meaningful compliments I've received this past year. One is you're a lot like your mom, and 2 is the world needs more people like you in it. And that just really just touches me in such a deep place. So, number 6, what did you do for fun this past year? What was one of your favorite memories? One of the things I like to do, I stink at it. I'm terrible at it. I'm awful at it. But I like to do it is to go bowling. But I hate going anywhere alone. I hate going anywhere alone. And so I haven't gone, and no one in my family is a big bowling fan. None of my friends, close friends that I know of, are big bowling fans. You never see them going bowling ever. So I haven't ever. I last time I bowled, I think it was at like at a church event a number of years ago. But one of the things I did this past year is a few months ago when I got paid, I went to a nearby bowling alley and bowled. I just did one game, just one game bowling, and I was terrible at it. I got so many gutter balls, it was pathetic. But it reminded me how much fun that is. So much fun to do. Let's see, what else did I do for fun this past year? I've done a lot of baking. If you haven't seen it yet, I have a baking videos playlist. I'll link it down below. I do a lot of baking. Baking, to me, the baking part isn't fun, but the icing, the decorating with the piping bag, that part's fun for me to do. Let's see, what else did I do for fun this past year? I'm trying to think. What else did I do for fun this past year? I'm a pretty boring person, guys, so I don't do a whole lot. What was one of your favorite memories? That's the second half of that question. What was one of your favorite memories for this past year? So many memories. How do you pick one? How do you pick one amongst the hundreds of good memories you have? Let me see. One of my favorite memories from this past year. And my memory is awful, so I don't remember things very, very well. I'm trying to think. I know there's some. I'm trying to think. This video is 16 minutes long already. I feel sorry for those of you who have to watch this. But, what's one of your favorite memories? Besides going bowling, I can't really think of anything. Isn't that awful? I mean, I have so many favorite memories, but not really significant enough to share. You know what I mean? I have to say that one of the ones that pops in my head the quickest is being able to get my grandmother's Christmas tree, her old aluminum Christmas tree. It originally came with a base, a stand that had 4 different color lenses in it. And the stand would not only rotate the tree, but the colors would rotate as well. And it just lit the tree up so beautifully. So beautifully. If you have not seen a picture of my tree yet, I'll post it in the video, like right here. Somewhere. So, but that base, that stand that had the lights and it would rotate the tree, broke years and years and years ago. And so, but I remember helping my grandmother put the aluminum tree up and putting the branches in and getting it on the stand and turning on the lights, and it was a big part of my childhood / young adulthood was helping her with that tree. So I think one of my favorite memories is just the memories that come back to me when I look at my beautiful 1950s aluminum tree. How about okay answer? Number 7. There's 10 questions here. Number 7. If you could change one thing for this past year, what would you change and why? Wow, that's a deep question. If you could change one thing from this past year, what would you change and why? Again, the first thing that pops into my head is my dad having to be in the hospital so many times. Because each time he was in the hospital, it was because of a issue with his digestion or his bowel movements, and he was not allowed to have any food or water. He wasn't allowed to have anything to eat or drink at all for like a day or two. And that just made his energy level like 0. And then when he wasn't able to eat, it took him so long to build up that energy, build the energy back up. Even when he was released and sent home from the hospital, he was so weak for days and weeks because of not being able to have food and water. And there's a good reason for that, because, when you're having those kind of digestive issues, doctors need to see what's happening for you. They use more food, more stuff to drink. But I think if I could change one thing this past year, would just have my dad not have to be in the hospital as much as he was. That would be the big thing. Number 8. What was the most meaningful thing someone did for you this past year? And the second half of that question is, what was the most meaningful thing you did for someone else? Wow. What was the most meaningful thing someone did for you this past year? When I had my 1-year anniversary at the church I'm a member of here in town, I took the pastor aside that morning and said, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this, it's not a big deal at all, but today is the 1-year anniversary of the day I officially became a member of the church. And I said, it's a special day for me, and I want to just let you know that I'm happy to be here. And thought that'd be the end of it. He was like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize it'd been a year already. I'm like, yeah, it's been a year already. And thought that'd be the end of it. Thought that'd be the end of it. It wouldn't go any further than that. It would just stop there. And I was okay with that. But in the middle of the morning service, he asked me to come up front with him. And I'm like, okay. So, and for those of you who don't know me very well, I am, when it comes to being in front of people, I'm a bit shy, at least at first. And so I'm like kind of bashfully like walking up to the stage, like, oh my gosh, what is he gonna do? And he spent about 5 minutes telling the congregation what a blessing I've been to him this past year. All the ways I've helped him, helped his wife, helped the church, helped with ministries, helped with different projects for different ministries, all the things I did behind the scenes that people didn't know about. And I never asked for any of that attention. I never asked to be brought up on stage and, nothing. I never asked for any of that kind of thing to happen. But he went on and on about how he felt like my coming here was the answer to his prayers that he'd been praying for a long time. And what a blessing I was to him and to the church. And that was my official 1-year anniversary of the day I joined the church. And I mean, all this stuff. And it just really meant a lot to me that he felt led to do that. Because I did not ask him to do that. I was not expecting him to do that at all. So for him to do that really just meant the world to me. Because I do the things I do for the church and for him because I want to be a help. I want to be a help. I want to be a blessing. I want to be used of God and be able to help people out. And that's why I'm here. And so I never expected to be publicly acknowledged for the things that I do. I don't do them for public acknowledgement. But when you get that acknowledgement, it sure is nice to have. And it's just a touching, emotional thing. At least it was for me. And that's one of the most meaningful things someone did for me this past year because I never expected that to happen, ever. In the second half, what was the most meaningful thing you did for someone else? What was the most meaningful thing you did for someone else? Boy. I'm trying to think. Like I said, guys, I didn't look at these ahead of time and plan my answers out in advance. This video is almost a half hour long. Wow. What was the most meaningful thing you did for someone else? I have to say, I think that I have a neighbor who lives in the same area I live in, who is elderly and has a really hard time getting around. She has knee and hip issues and has a lot of medical problems, and she can't do a whole lot on her own. And so whenever she needs help with something, I'll go over and help her. And that may not sound like a very meaningful thing, but she told me repeatedly how much of a blessing I've been to her and how much of a help I've been to her and how much it means to her to have someone like me there in case she needs help with something. If she went grocery shopping and she comes home from grocery shopping and she's so tired and she's so weak and run down, not feeling well, she can call me and say, hey, I just came home from grocery shopping. Can you use your wagon and help me get my groceries in, and I'll help her with that. So I think just being there for her and helping her out when she needs me to, is probably the most meaningful thing I've done for someone else. So yeah, it's off the top of my head. Number 9. We are almost done, guys. Almost done. Number 9. If you were to brag about one of your accomplishments from this past year, which one would it be and why? If you were to brag about one of your accomplishments from this past year, which one would it be and why? I think I'd have to say, and this may not be a good answer for you, but oh well. I have to say, I think it was the first day. I don't know what day it was. I have to go back and look it up, and I'm not going to take time to do that right now. This video is long enough as it is. I think it was the first day I ever hit 10,000 steps on my Fitbit. That was a huge, huge accomplishment. I can't remember what day it was. I was at like 8,500 steps or something like that. And I thought, I wonder if I could get to 10,000 before I go to bed tonight. So I just get up and walk around the apartment every few minutes, where I get up and go to this, go to that, and that kind of thing. I walked to check my mailbox and came back and just, And when I went to bed that night, I remember checking it and it said I had like 10,200 steps. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh! So I think that's the one that stands out to me at the moment, is getting 10,000 steps on my Fitbit. That was an incredible accomplishment in my mind. Number 10, last question, you guys. We're almost done. Hang in there with me. All right. Sorry I can wrap my nose, guys. I have a bit of a runny nose. Not a runny nose, just itching a lot. Number 10. Given all your experiences, insights, and lessons learned from last year, what's the best advice you could give yourself for next year? Given all your experiences, insights, and lessons learned from last year, what's the best advice you can give yourself for next year? I think that one thing I've learned, not just over the past year, but over the past 3 or 4 years, is to stand up for myself. To believe in myself enough to stand up for myself. And to not let people say and do certain things that are not acceptable. I have been a doormat for most of my life. I've been walked on, mistreated, and I've just let it happen. Because all my life I've been okay with someone hurting my feelings, but I can never hurt theirs ever. I can never say an unkind word to them ever. And now at the point where, you know what, I deserve respect. I deserve to be respected, to be treated with kindness and compassion, understanding, and because I try my best. I'm not perfect, I'm far from perfect, but I try to treat everybody else that way. So I feel like I deserve that treatment in return. And so I feel like I've learned the best advice I can give myself for next year is keep standing up for yourself. Don't be afraid to tell someone when they're crossing the line. If they're crossing the line, call them on it. Say, hey, this is not acceptable to me. This is not okay. And I'm not going to allow this to happen. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned, not just over this past year, but over the past few years, is the importance of loving yourself enough to stand up for yourself and to demand respect from people. And I try my best to treat everyone with kindness, compassion, understanding, courtesy, and respect. If I treat everyone else that way, then I should be treated the same way. So I think just the best advice I can give myself for next year is keep that going. Keep standing up for yourself. And also, don't allow yourself to get lazy. because I have a tendency to be lazy. I have a tendency to procrastinate. I have a tendency to put things off. I have a tendency to, just be lazy. And saying I need to, the best advice I can give myself for next year would also be to not get back into that mode again, but keep being active, keep actively doing things, keep pursuing new interests. So, there you go, guys. 29 minutes and 50 seconds in the video. Those are the 10 questions. I will link to the website down below, as well as my BFF channel down below, and my baking videos playlist. In case you haven't seen that yet, I'll link that down below as well. And please give this video a thumbs up. That means a lot to me if you could do that. And I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful, safe, happy New Year. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for you. Bye.